This is where the journey starts for our fiber, in the forest owned by Södra's members. The fiber has a long way to go before reaching the end of its journey. It could end up in a wedding invitation in Florence, a napkin in Berlin, or a t-shirt in China. This tree is not alone. Over the past century, Sweden's forests have doubled in size, and the total forest area in Sweden is growing by 1% every year. This is because we manage our forests sustainably. For every tree we harvest, we plant 3 new ones. The forest provides a renewable and sustainable raw material that also absorbs half of Sweden's carbon-2 emissions. Our fiber has now been loaded onto a logging truck and is on its way to one of Södra's 3 modern and sustainable pulp mills at Värö, Mörrum or Mönsterås. Södra is expanding and continuously investing. Today it has the capacity to make 1.9 million tons of pulp per year, making Södra one of the biggest and most important pulp producers in the world. Our goal is to use every part of the tree in our process. Sawmill chips, thinnings and final harvest residues are delivered to Södra's woodyards. All 3 are used as the raw material for our products. Our raw material is mostly sourced locally, from the forest owned by our members. And the end product are then delivered to Södra's customers all over the world. Södra's pulp is used to make many different products: textiles, tissue, specialty papers, paperboards and printing and publishing paper. It takes about 5 cubic meters of pine and 4 cubic meters of birch raw material to produce 1 ton of pulp. Every stage of the pulping process has been carefully planned and developed to produce the best possible quality of pulp in the most sustainable way. The first stage is to remove the bark from the trees, which is then used as a source of energy. The logs are then washed to remove any sands and other residues that are not good for the process. Then they are cut into chips. In the boiler, the fibers and the lignin binding the fibers are released. The pulp is then washed before being bleached in several stages. Södra's mills use both TCF and ECF bleaching processes. The fully bleached pulp is then dried, cut into sheets and strapped onto 250 kilograms bales for transport to customers by sea, rail or road. This process only describes half of the pulp mill. In the other half, also known as recovery and the energy process, inactive chemicals are converted to active chemicals to be used again, and the lignin is used for energy. Södra's high-tech and modern pulp mills produce district heatings for the local communities, providing heating and hot water. When the water is cooled down, it is pumped back to Södra, where it's reheated and reused in the process. In addition, the mills also produce green electricity and biofuel, as well as world-class pulp. And our investments will continue to increase these supplies of green energy. Individual forest owners with commitment and foresight joined forces to form a successful forest industry group, and we and they are proud of what we have achieved. Join us on our journey, because the future is growing in the forest.